Welcome back to Mathematica for Architects. We want to have a short tutorial about the correlations of words. So let me give you a short overview what this is about. So what we had already is how to build up a library of books. Here we have about a dozen books fed from the internet with metadata and so on. We had these exercises how to set up this library. We had simple statistics on counting of characters and frequencies of characters in books. We counted words in books and created word clouds. And now it's about the correlation of words, another statistical concept. And this is about how within a certain body of language in a book, words get friends or are friends. So this is a characteristic then of the language of the author and of the vector of the book. And that's a very interesting concept. Google is working with these things. So, as always, the code to write is relatively complicated and takes a few years, but I highly recommend that you try to be able to read and to appreciate the reading of the code to understand what is behind. It's not too complicated, but to do it actively, it's another game. So, another notebook. What we had, so we always have to start and look whether our library is properly connected. It's on desktop. This is our library. That's fine. So then we have to select a certain book. We got on this chapter here. We got here interface to select a book in the library. We have this pop-up menu to select a book from the library. So these are all the books. And this is our selection. Okay, close it again. So, if we have this book, this is, for example, the word cloud. So we had the frequency of the word. We go here, and we had these prominent words of the selected book. These are the prominent words of my book. You might have another one. So we take the first 12, for example. There's a mistake here. So there's a 12 most prominent things. And then we say word cloud of this. And then we get the prominent words of our book. So this is what Christopher Alexander in its pattern language is talking about buildings, people, places, space, make, room, and so on, patterns. That's Christopher Alexander, and it's a very proper characteristics, you see, and you don't have to read this book. Very nice. Now we want to look how to qualify the relations of these major concepts. So one first exercise is this. The text of Alexander is this. We had MTP book as text. This is a function we had from above of MTP book selected. So this is 1.4 million characters. We can show, I think. So if we want to see that, go here and say string take. For example, text. Otherwise, you have the whole book and it's always blocked and the screen is full. So we say just the first 10,000 characters, and here we are. Here we are. Yeah, that's the book. If you go, for example, to Augustine, it's another scheme here, and here you see it's another text. Everything is very fast. That's nice. So what we don't want to have for our experiment is all these line breaks, and we don't want to work on, we want to go to lowercase characters. So we want to change our text. Text 1 is to lower case of text, then we have everything is lowercase, and we want to say replace, string replace, and we want to say the, let's do it, the carriage return, so it's a new line, it's always written like that, should be replaced by a space, and double space should be replaced by single space. So by that we should have, so if we don't now go to text 1 worth 10,000, you see it's a little more compact. In most of the cases it's working. We can have more correlation on these parts here. Maybe there's a tabulator, so it should be \t. This needs more work, but I think for our exercise this is enough. So we have a little correlation. So what we are interested in is, for example, now go again to Christoph Alexander. Look at him, people here. Look for the text, that's fine. Look here, so we can delete this here. Now we have text 1 from Christopher Alexander. So now we want to look, for example, for the pattern. So we say string position of text 1, and pattern should be, here we want to ask for where are the patterns. So you see these are the positions of pattern in text 1. So that's interesting. So we have a lot of them. We can say positions at this, make a semicolon that you don't see it, and then, for example, ask for the length, because it's a list, length of positions. There was the 816 positions. So position, the first position, or text the 100th position, is from character 24,800 to 24,821. So if we want to get these characters, then we say string take from text 1 and positions from 100. And this should be exactly pattern. Yeah. Here you have pattern. So now what we can do, we can say we want to have 20 characters from 20 characters minus, so it's 20 less than this, and 20 plus here. So we got 40 characters plus the width of the pattern. So we say take this position, add this pair, and make string take. And then we say get pattern in its context. Yes. So that's nice. So we can do it with pattern 101 and so on. Or make that a variable, a pure function, and do it on positions of from 100 to 112. And here we are with a nice context of this word. Do the same thing with, for example, place. Then we have even more, it's bigger. So take this, different places here, and here we have the same with places. You say workplaces, places for people, places for parking, special places, and so on. And you can imagine it, that's the interest of us, that in different books, in different texts, with different intentions, these words are in different contexts. And the principal idea of machine learning is that this context is important, and with a lot of these contexts, you get the color of the word and the meaning of the word without a lexicon, or an encyclopedia, or a definition. It's just by being trained with talking or being friend with other words in a lot of different contexts. So each word gets a profile towards all the other words, and we will work on that. So, but I think this is the first exercise. We will continue with working on words instead of characters for correlations. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Now I forgot to make the comprehensive function of this tutorial, that you easily can reuse what we discussed here. So this is relatively schematic. So we want to define a function MTP. We always start with that, and then we say book, and then correlate, for example, or character context. So this is what I had, and we say we want to we need the book name as a variable, and we want to have the characters. So this is a function. This is how to start with it. We always get a module to define the variable space and wrap the whole thing from its context, make it a system. So now we simply copy these things. This is outside. Word cloud is just to get an idea, to get started. So what we want to have is the text of the book selected. Book selected is not here. We want to have the book name. So whether it's selected or not, we don't care here. So we want to have it and give it. String take, we don't need that. We want to make this short curation. So text here. So we need, this is a variable, and this is a local variable, and should not be disturbed or disturbing outside variables of the same name. So now we want to get the positions. It's here. It's again a new name, which needs to be wrapped. Positions here. String take is this. Here we have this, and we go close it. This should be returned, so there's no semicolon in the back. Positions, we want to have first here the width. Let's here the positions from to. So we say it's, and we want to make the pattern here, from to. We have it here, from to. So here we get this, and we can have the width. Do that, minus width, width here. So now we check whether everything is nice and green, and this should be our function, and we can put that as code. So if we load our document, it will be initialized, if either by loading or if we say evaluate initialization cells, and all these cells will be available and then evaluated, and then this function will be defined. So go here, and now we check MTP book character context. Then we say I have MTP book selected. So we want to have this is a pattern, so we ask for space. Then we say we want to have it from 1 to 12. The width should be 30. Bam. Nice. So now we have another books. So go, for example, here, forgot their names, for example, Hume and HN. Simply can say Hume HN, ask him for place, and you see it's a different context of the other author. Take this, and put it here and save the whole story. That's it. Thanks for watching.